Welcome to the Edge of Adventure. My name is Adam Asher. Great to have everybody with us. What a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful privilege it is for me to get to spend this time with you guys. Thanks for following the audio podcast or the video podcast. And it's however you prefer to watch or listen. It's great. It's great to have you as a part of the Edge of Adventure. Today we're traveling to Colombia and we are going to introduce to you now Carolina Estrada Gómez, and she is joining us from Mahavir Kmina. Carolina, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me today.
What a wonderful organization you work for. Tell us about Mahavir Kmina.
Okay, Mahavir Kmina is a nonprofit that produces and manufactures low limb prostheses for everyone who needs them. You know, people can lose a leg due to many causes like diabetes or car accidents. Like so many things can happen, and we impact in their lives, changing their lives forever when we have the opportunity to give them the prostheses.
And you can find out more about this wonderful organization, Mahavir Kmina, at mahavirkamina.org. And I'm sure that's easy to spell, especially if you're listening to the audio program and you're my English speaking audience. You're thinking, okay, Adam, I have no idea how to spell Mahavir Kmina. And instead of like giving you the how to spelling it with the letters here, I'm going to say first and foremost, the first thing is you can always, anytime you're listening to one of these shows and you want to find out more and get the links to the organizations, you can always find those at theedgeofadventure.com. And that's one way to do it. But as we delve into this here, Mahavir is actually a Hindi word, Carolina, right?
Yes, that's right.
And, and then Camina is a it's not you guys have your unique spelling, but of course in Spanish that means to walk. So Mahavir Kmina is the organization, and you guys make and distribute low limb prosthetics, and um, therefore, right? Who are the people that are receiving these? People who have had to have a leg or a part of their leg amputated. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, people who have suffered an amputation in their legs, it can be one leg or both of them. They can ask us to help them, right? And the process is very simple. They will have to go to our corporation so we can make the measurements and build the prosthesis, and they can go through the adaptation process with us. This process only takes 8 hours.
And is this something that they're usually excited about, or do you find that there's reluctance or fear of the process sometimes?
Yeah, you can see at the beginning of the process how people is going to the corporation. You can see sometimes like they are going through very difficult moments, like they are not accepting the situation of what happened in their lives. But after the process, that it can take from 8 hours up to 3 days, because we want to make sure that they go comfortable with the processes. You see that at the end of the day, they are happy, they are learning how to walk, they feel they can do more things, like they can become more independent. So that's what we like, that our community can do different things after they got the processes.
This is the Edge of Adventure, and my guest today is Carolina Estrada Gómez from Mahavir Kmina. The significance of the word, the Hindi word or the Hindi name Mahavir, that comes from what?
Yeah, that comes from our story. There is a businessman in Colombia who suffered an ankle sprain back in the day. And well, he was reading this book from about nonprofits in India, and he found the Bhagwan Mahavir Viklan Sahayata Samiti organization in India, and he saw that they produce and manufacture low limb prostheses for free. So he thought, like, okay, I'm going through this ankle sprain. I don't feel great about it, but I wonder, or I don't know, like he was thinking about the challenges that people without a leg can face every day, right? And he, on a business trip, decided to go to this nonprofit in India. And when he was there, he signed an agreement with them so they could help us or sell us the materials needed to produce the prosthesis at a low cost, with two conditions. The first condition is that we included the Mahavir name, which is part of their religion, the Jainism, and for us to donate the prosthesis free of charge to our beneficiaries.
And how, Carolina, does that change the life? I mean, you mentioned how the person may be struggling at first to even accept what has happened to them. And then there might be some level of nervousness or fear or trepidation regarding the process of being fitted for the prosthesis. Uh, what though when they're on the other side of it though, and they have the prosthetic limb? What's the what's the end result? How does it change their lives?
First of all, I want to say that it's not a miracle. Like, they get the prosthesis and they're not going to learn how to walk immediately. As everything, it can take even months to learn how to walk properly. But once you get like the walking and everything done, we have stories of people that have become really successful stories. Like, we have this beneficiary who now is competing around the world, like shot put athlete. So that for us is very amazing to see how their lives is changing.
The person who finds themselves in need uh, of a prosthetic limb, what is their life like without it?
Okay, it is complicated for them, obviously, because when you don't have a leg, you will have to use another support element, such as I don't know if you can help me with that word, but the
Crutches.
yeah, crutches. That's right. So they're using their hands to walk with the crutches, right? So they don't have like their hands like we are used to have them all the time. And also it implies for one of the person that lived with them to help him in the daily things, like going to the bathroom or like preparing the coffee for them. So it's two people in the house of the person who has an amputation, who needs to stop working or studying, like basically stop their lives because there is someone in the house with an amputation.
And as promised, adding to the screen here, video version, just so you can see what breaks your heart. What would be something that makes you sad about what you witness, and then the things that bring you joy.
I think everything brings me joy because you see, as you're watching in this video, this is Johannes, and she learned how to walk with the prosthesis since she was like one. You know, people start walking at that age, so they get used to the prosthesis since the first moment where they are taking the first steps in their lives. So for me, that's awesome to see how they can grow up with the prosthesis and to have a normal life, to go to school, to play, to share with others, and also be an inspiration for other kids and even adults that are learning how to walk. That's amazing.
Carolina, when did you first start working with Mahavir Kmina?
I started in 2017. Yes.
What brought you to this organization? Why did you feel like this was something you were called to do?
Yeah, for me, it's very important to work related to social work. For me, it's like, if you are going to live this life, you need to give something to people and to contribute to our world or planet. And yeah, so I finished the career and I did this internship there in Mahavir Kmina. And luckily, I got hired and I've been there since then.
Carolina, other than the story of this sweet young girl that we just watched the video of, can you think of another time or two when you saw someone's life turn around completely?
Sure. I mean, like, everyone who is going to Mahavir Kmina is is going through a changing life process. And we have attended more than 5,000 people during 14 years that we've been like working there. So you can imagine that there is plenty of stories in 5,000 people with the processes.
This is the Edge of Adventure, and we are focusing on an organization today, Mahavir Kmina, in the nation of Colombia, South America, and the state Antioquia. All right, you'll have to help me with this, but I think one of the things that has made Mahavir Kmina a success is the technology that you have used and championed. Uh, where did that technology come from, and how is it implemented?
Okay, the technology is very simple to learn and to use. We got the technology from India. When the businessman went to India, he did the arrangement with them. We needed to send people to learn how to produce the prostheses. So they are very cheap materials. They are they are manufactured in like a very artisanal way, but they had very good qualities with resistant, and they also sometimes look like a real leg. So for people, they like it very much because like it has the color of a leg, as you can see in the picture, and that's something that we like. Also, they developed the Jaipur food, that is the food of the prosthesis, and is very resistant. You can even swim with the prosthesis.
Carolina Estrada Gómez is my guest today, joining us from Mahavir Kmina. We're learning about the technology and also just the heart of this organization to ensure that people who need lower limb prosthetics that they get them. How many people do you have to turn away, or are you able to treat everyone that is in need that comes to you for help?
um, we are trying not to turn away people, to give that opportunity to everyone. But recently, we got a large amount of people waiting for a prosthesis, and we've seen that some people already has a prosthesis and doesn't need it really, and that's the people that we turn out. Like that, if they already have a prosthesis or they can afford them to buy them in the normal commercial centers, then we're gonna to turn them away. But if they can prove that they don't can that they can afford the prosthesis, or that the health insurance didn't provide them with a prosthesis, we'll give them, not asking more questions. Like we're attending like most of them.
How is Mahavir Kmina funded? Where does the organization get the funds in order to make and distribute these prosthetic limbs?
It is thanks to our all amazing donations that we get in different ways. We have some arrangement with some organizations here in Colombia, but we also got projects on crowdfunding platforms that are helping us a lot to get these funds.
Do you find that it is mostly adults or mostly children that you're helping in this regard?
Mostly adults from the age of 18 to the age of 65. And this data is important because you can see in that age you are a productive person, you are supposed to be studying or working. So that's where we want to make an impact on, like the people who has to be working or doing something, that has dreams to achieve, can get the prosthesis and continue with their lives. And it's also mostly men.
This is the Edge of Adventure, and my name, of course, is Adam Asher. Great to have you with us. Thanks for tuning in and for just being a part of all that we do here on the Edge of Adventure. We go week to week with the podcast. We go around the world and we talk to people from all different places, all different kinds of places, doing wonderful things, serving others, putting other people first, and helping those people. And oftentimes, they're people who wouldn't be helped otherwise. And I think, Carolina, that's very much what you're saying is the people that you're focusing on helping are those who don't have another choice. They don't have the opportunity to get the a prosthetic limb through some other way, and you're helping them. You're stepping in to help them, and you're doing it thanks to donations from great people all around the world. How has COVID affected what you guys are able to do? It's affected everybody, and it's a tragic thing, of course. How have you been able to adapt and continue to serve?
Yeah. The last year we closed our doors for 5 months, and in that time, people were still asking for prostheses. So right now we have a large amount of people in the waiting list for a prosthesis for an appointment with us, and that is affecting us a lot because we were not only seeing people from Colombia, we also have people in the list from Mexico and other countries in Latin America that today we are not able to see because of the restrictions with traveling and all that. Um, and also we reduce the amount of people we have in the installations during the day. So before, like in 2019, we had like up to 6 people getting their prosthesis in one day, and now we have 3 or 2, and sometimes they cannot go to Medellin because COVID.
And Carolina, that you bring up a great point. The headquarters for Mahavir Kmina, they are in which city?
Medellin.
Medellin. Okay. And yet, as you are stating, you guys have seen people throughout the years. You've seen people from all over the world, Latin America, have come to see you guys, and that's has been restricted significantly with the current state of things. What do you guys need? I mean, obviously, there's the financial need, and that is something that I always like to mention is if the work that Mahavir Kamina does, if that touches your heart in a particular way and you want to come alongside them, please be generous and do so. Reach out to them. And I'll be sharing again the website, Mahavir Kamina. I'll even spell it for you in just a second, mahavirkamina.org. And other than the financial, though, are there ways that a listener could come alongside you guys and be supportive?
Yeah, by spreading the word, by spreading our cause and what we're doing, because we are not helping only people from Colombia, also from Latin America. And yeah, we're changing their lives. Maybe if you can like see our of videos on YouTube, you will see the success stories, and I'm sure that you will feel very different after watching one of our videos.
It truly is inspiring. And you think about the the simplicity of of what you guys do. It's not a complicated project, and yet it means the world to every one of these recipients to be able to receive a prosthetic limb and the life, the change in life that you guys help to facilitate is inspiring. So I do encourage everyone to check out mahavirkamina.org. And I'm going to put that on the screen here. And I'll also spell it for those of you listening to the audio version, mahavirkamina.org. That's Mahavir. That's the Mahavir part. And then Kamina is Kmina.org. Mahavirkamina.org. Now, this Kamina, you guys have the K with the Mina, but the word camina or caminar in Spanish means what?
To walk.
To walk. So they've blended here. The Mahavir is a Hindi in honor of a person from India, okay, Mahavir. And then the Kamina part is a clever way of spelling it, but it literally means walk. Mahavirkamina.org, and you can find out more information about them, come alongside them, encourage them, help spread the word. They have a very strong, vital social media presence, and you can help that grow even more. Mahavirkamina.org. Coming to us today here on the Edge of Adventure from Medellin, Colombia. And as always, my commitment to you guys always is, if you want to find out more about any of the organizations that I have on the show, any of their work, the work that they're doing, you can do so by going to theedgeofadventure.com, theedgeofadventure.com. You'll find it there. Okay. And what's next for uh, Mahavir Kmina, Carolina?
I think that what is next is to find a way to bring our beneficiaries or the people who need a prosthesis from all the countries. And yeah, also not just to keep helping, to reach to more people and to be able to open our doors again to everyone who needs our help. Because right now it's very restricted with COVID situation.
Indeed, and I look forward to that, of course, coming to an end. And I know that it's going to be a wonderful time. But let me also say, congratulations for persevering. Thank you for continuing to meet these needs and to help as many people as you possibly can. Carolina Estrada Gómez is here today representing the organization called Mahavir Kmina in Colombia. And how many people are a part of the organization, Carolina? You and how many others?
And another 16 people. We are a small team, but we are making this huge impact, which is the important part.
It absolutely is true. Well, thank you so much, Carolina. You're a wonderful person. Thank you for taking the time today to tell us a little bit about Mahavir Kmina. And what else? What else do we need to know about the organization for the days ahead?
Yeah, like we're working also in developing another ways to help people. And recently we came out with this development, which is a mobile application. Right now it's only available in Spanish. And you can find it in Android store, even in the iStore. And it's for everyone who lost a leg. It's for to support their rehabilitation process. So if you know someone that may need some help with some recommendations, exercises, dietary recommendations as well, I'm sure that application is going to help them a lot.
Okay, so this is a mobile phone app. And what is
Yep.
it called?
Gres app. It will be GRES app.
All right. Well, we will put a link to this app, Gres
Yep.
app, and we'll
Uh-huh.
put a link to that. And that sounds like a wonderful thing to have and to provide. So we'll make that easy for you guys. You can find that at theedgeofadventure.com. Just look for the podcast page. And then, of course, look for this conversation, Mahavir Kmina. And as always, I ask you to do the same thing. Help spread the word. Share this podcast and this interview out so people can get to know them and learn just a little bit about all the many things that they do. Carolina Estrada Gómez has been my guest today from Mahavir Kmina, and I'm going to let her have the final word and just ask her what her word of encouragement is for the people who maybe they find themselves right now in need of a lower limb prosthetic. And I want what is your word to them on behalf of Mahavir Kmina?
Well, like everyone who is going through this difficult time of losing a limb, what I have learned during these years working with Mahavir Kmina is that we need to be strong enough to overcome the bad situations, and to know that there is people there inspiring with their testimony, because we are able to do everything we can imagine. So it's just to have self-confidence that we definitely can do things. Like we have people like 90 years old, like my grandpa, for example, and they can walk and they can go to the park and they can meet friends, like they are doing their lives. So if someone from like this age can do everything they want, like I'm sure you also can do it.
A great word of encouragement from Carolina Estrada Gomez today here on the Edge of Adventure. Thank you so much, Carolina. Thank you for what you do. Again, thank you for your time. And I look forward to hearing from Mahavir Kmina in the future and to watching the organization continue to grow. To find out more information about Mahavir Kmina, you can look them up at mahavirkmina.org, or just look for the link at the post, the show notes for this broadcast at theedgeofadventure.com. Thank you so much, Carolina. God bless you. And again, I appreciate your time today.
No, thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity to tell people about our work.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for the work you do. And I agree with what you said earlier. You know, we've got to find a way in this life to do something that matters, to do something that has real purpose. And I'm glad you are serving at Mahavir Kmina. Thanks again for being on the show.
No, thank you very much.